True, true. Well, hello, Lisa on the East Coast.
Well, hello, Sharon on the West Coast. How are you today?
I am awesome. So here we are, coast to coast.
All right. I am
We,
ready. I'm ready to talk coast to coast beauty. And we're going to be talking date night.
yes, we are. Date night. Isn't that going to be awesome?
I'm excited about this one, actually. I
I
really
know you are. Ever since we talked about doing the talk show, that was your first topic that was the first thing came out of your mouth. Date night.
Yeah, I know. Yes. And there's a reason why when you mentioned talk show, I thought, wow, if I ever get a chance to have a talk show, I'm going to talk about date night. And I didn't think you would latch onto it the way you did, but hey, I'm glad you did. Hi, Cherie.
Hello, Cherie.
Oh my, yes. Cherie is one of the people who know that I am a fanatic about date night. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Well, I know it too. I mean, I would, over the past year, you we'd be talking like, oh no, I gotta go. It's date night. I'm like, this what? I mean, and you were so serious and so committed to it that I just like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then as I said, I'm in bonds in the meat department. Let's hear what you do for date night, lady. Let's hear about that.
Okay, what do I do for date night? Well, I want to start by saying how this topic came into my consciousness as something that I think is needed out there. I'm gonna tell a little story. You know, I'm a storyteller. So I have this girlfriend, and we at one point in our lives we talked almost every day. And so this went on for several months. And so at one time she says to me, okay, I get it. Kenneth is a god. I get it. And I said, let's all go worship at the altar of Kenneth. And that's how she said it. She said it with a smile, a little sarcastic smile. But I looked at her and I said, what? And she says, oh my God, girl, you don't realize how much you talk about your husband. And I apologized. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I did that. And I honestly didn't. I wasn't paying attention to how much he came up in the conversations.
I get that too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm fast forward several years later. I'm talking to another lady, and it's a long conversation. And in the middle of it, I say something about, well, Kenneth said, and then I see this look go across her face. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm doing it again. I'm just throwing up Kenneth all over another lady. And I don't want to do that. So I stopped and I apologized to her. And I said, I'm sorry. I've been told that I talk about my husband too much. And I said, sometimes I don't pay attention because he's such a integral part of my life. It's just interwoven. It's hard for me to separate it. I said, but I don't want to be thoughtless. And this woman was going through relationship issues, and she had come to me, and I was trying to offer, a little encouragement, a little bit of advice, a little encouragement. And I apologized, and she stopped. She looked at me. She said, don't you dare apologize. She said, don't you dare apologize. And for having the kind of relationship that others would love to have, don't you dare apologize for having this beautiful relationship that you can't stop yourself from talking about. And I said, well, I just saw that look on your face. And she said, the look was because I was thinking, here I am on marriage number 3. And I'm having and I'm struggling trying to hold this one together. And I was thinking, if I ever get to marriage number 4, I'm going to do what she does. And she says, you have given me something to look forward to. So don't ever apologize for the fact that you have put in time and energy and effort into building a beautiful marriage with your husband. And you don't mind sharing tips from that. So that's what made me think, if I ever have a talk show, I'm going to talk about date night because that's one of the things that have helped make ours, as I believe, as strong as it is.
Because it is something you have to work at. We put a lot of work into catching them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. And if you don't admit it, then
once we get them, we, just think it's supposed to just slide along smoothly. And it is work. Anything worth having is work. Mm-hmm. So you go on and tell us the tips for the date night.
Okay. Yes. Anything worth, if you're going to work to get it, work to keep it. I remember, I think last week, and I said, consistency will help you get it. If you have a dream or a goal, even if it's a man or husband, consistency will help you get it. Consistency will help you get it. Persistency will help you keep it. Okay, so or as grandma used to say, the same thing you do to get him and you have to do to keep him. My grandma used to say that.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about some tips on date night, and I know that it's an effort. It's a foreign concept to a lot of people, not especially married people or people who are in a long-term relationship. We do those things to get to know somebody. And then when we get into that relationship, sometimes life just rolls over us. It's like a roller coaster. You get up, you fight the traffic to get to work. You fight yourself to not, go postal on your coworkers, and you deal with the stress of your job. Then you fight the traffic to get home. You still got to deal with sometimes homework and dinner and all these other things, bills. And then you fall into bed at night exhausted to get up and go do it again. And somewhere along the way, you forget about all the things that you did to start a relationship. And so I think that if you're are single right now, you're not in a relationship, hopefully these tips will help. And if you are in a relationship new, hopefully this will encourage you to keep doing what you did to get it started. And if you are in long-term in a relationship, and hopefully this will help put a little bit of a magic back into it. So let's talk about date night. The first thing I want to talk about is it's a decision. Everything is just a decision. You have to decide, I'm going to date this person for the rest of my life. So most of us think, I'm going to date this person. If it goes good, we're going to get married. And then what? We're going to live happily ever after. Not. So you have to come in knowing that you're going to date this person for the rest of your life or for the rest of this relationship. And then you will find that the relationships will last a lifetime or last longer. So that's the very first tip. Don't ever think I'm going to date this person, I'm going to get married. Think I'm going to date this person for the rest of my life. And so, and then that's my first tip. My second tip is to get this person on board with you if you can. So let's talk about that. You get this person on board with you by just talking about it, a date night. And I think the very best scenario is if you can do, for me, if it was up to me, we would do weekly date night. But some schedules won't allow it. And maybe you can do bi-weekly date nights, like every other week. That's twice a month. And if you are just really, really, really just scraping the bottom of the barrel and you can only do once a month, I would start there with a goal to move it up to twice a month. And then another goal to move it up to a week. And sometimes, life is crazy and you only going to get date hour. You're going to get a date hour or a date couple of hours. But the decision and then put it on the book. I actually have it in my phone, an alarm that goes off that says stop, and it says date. That means stop work. It's date night. Okay. And I don't ever take that alarm off. Even some nights I know we're not going to make it. It's there. It's a reminder. Yeah, and then I sat there
with you when that alarm's going on. Like,
okay. So I'm not making this up. She's been on the phone with me. And of course, some of you follow me on Facebook and social media will see some of the pictures. I'm like, date night. Okay, so for me, the ideal, I like Friday nights. And if you go out on Twitter on any Friday, you will see that is one of the top trending hashtags is date night. So I didn't make it up. It's very relevant. It is out there. Okay, so how do you go about starting date night? Now that you've made a decision that you're going to do it, you're going to date this person for the rest of your life. This is for men. Okay, it's for men and women. And I know that in the beginning, I was the person who was like, oh, it's date night. I need to think of something to do. Somewhere along the way, I had a little conversation with Kenneth and I said, okay, we need to switch off. You do it one time and then it'll be my time to do it, plan it the next time. And so we switch off planning date night. And his thing was, I don't know what to do or what to think. You're good at that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh no, my brother, my dear. There's no room for dumb people in the age of smartphones. So there's no place for dumb people in the age of smartphones. It's just not done.
Oh,
so Google
that one.
Yes, it is not. And so get this. I don't care what city you live in. You can do Google. If you Google date night and put your city in there, everything within 100-mile radius is going to come up. And it's a beautiful, yes, try it. Google date night. Yeah. And then everything within 100-mile radius is going to come up and you'll have so many ideas you don't know what to do. Also, Groupon is a great place to go for date night ideas because they have deals.
It's Groupon.
Groupon. Groupon. If you were to go in there and do a search for date night on Groupon, or you can do a search for just for your city, things to do in your city. And oh my goodness, so much stuff will come up. I'm going to talk about some of the things we've done. Go-kart riding. We've gone to the Andretti track and done go-kart riding.
Video.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Video.
Did I take video? Oh, I video everything. Now let me tell you something. I put a lot on Facebook. I don't put everything on Facebook.
Okay.
I don't put everything on Facebook. But you know what? One of the last things I Googled and it brought up, I think, aquarium under the stars. The Atlanta Aquarium has a date night. Did you know that Atlanta Aquarium has a date night? You didn't know. Google it. Okay, the Fernbank Center with the observatorium where you can go in and watch the stars. They have a stars under the date under the stars. And all of these things I have come across from Googling date night. Okay, you can Google just date night to get ideas, just plain date night. And then you can Google date night in your city to get an idea. And then also one of the things that we do is we just recently this year made the commitment to try to do it once a quarter. We do like a date weekend. And so I'm gonna tell you about the last. Okay, so the last date weekend we had was we've had several, and if you do a major hotel in your area, and I know for us here in Atlanta, a Marriott has weekend for two, in which you get a room at a special rate, you get a bottle of champagne, you get breakfast buffet for two, or you can choose breakfast in the room, brought to your room, and some of the other things. So there is the last one of you may know that in March I had surgery, major surgery. It was a big deal, and it was on a Wednesday, and then on Friday, the week before the surgery, the few days before the surgery on Friday, my husband tells me, come on, we're getting out of the house. And unbeknownst to me, he had planned a weekend at the Marriott, weekend for two at the Marriott. It's kind of funny. I had also planned something for him that he didn't know about, which included tickets to the Hawks basketball game and dinner at a restaurant that he had seen on the Food Network. He was just going on and on about it. So we had to combine that. Now you will not find pictures of this on Facebook. Sounds nice, right, Cherie?
Yeah.
You won't find this. And we got a room way up high, took pictures of the whole city from up in the Marriott. We parked the car in the valet parking and took Uber. And so think about this. Here's the thing. One of our Uber drivers was a man who says, "Where are you from?" And we was like, we live here. And we told him what we were doing. And he said, "Oh, that's great. I'm glad to see young people like you doing it. My wife and I do it every quarter." And he offered some suggestions on things we could do on our next one. So the point is, what'd you say?
I said, wow, that was.
Yeah. So we would do it 2 or 3 times a year, a couple times a year, but we didn't think about doing it every quarter. Well, you have a weekend where you get out of the house, even if you don't get out of the city, you get out of the house and have a staycation. And you will find that a lot of hotels have a package for that. And the final tip I want to say, and then we'll go to you. Yes, Cherie knew about it. We had a blast. In taking Uber all over the city, visiting places that we always want them to visit, but don't ever stop because we're so busy. The thing is, it took my mind off of the surgery. It took my mind off of the worry, and it brought us closer together. And so, yes, date night can be memorable because I'm a person who always say make memories. So Sharen, I want to talk about how to make it magical, but I want to see if you have something to add first.
Well, we had a few people who asked some questions about date night, and some of them I thought were some things that we should probably share. One lady asked, "Can you double date as a date night?" And I would say that if you're going to double date, that you would want it to be with a couple that are kind of on the same level with you, meaning that their relationship is just as strong as yours, and that neither one of you disagree with my husband, he's probably not going to watch this, but he has friends that I just wouldn't want to go on date night with. And I'm sure I have friends that he probably wouldn't want to go on date night. But then we have friends that would be perfect to go as a double date. So I think you do have to take that in consideration. Some people were asking, are there places you shouldn't go for date night? So the mental health person in me comes out with that question. Well, okay. You probably don't go to mommy's house for date night. No. Probably, unless you both are sports fanatics, you probably don't go to the sports bar for date night. Right.
Unless you're both.
Unless, me and my husband do, where 1 month he picks where we go and it's something he wants to do. So I would tell my clients, well, if you see me at the Irwindale racetrack, it's my compromise week. But on my choices, he would end up at, a dance recital or ballet or something like that, But typically you would want to do something that you both enjoy. But then some lady was asking, are there things that are off limits to talk about on date night? And again, the mental health person came out and thought, I would not talk about issues with the children on date night. I would not talk about financial issues on date night.
No.
Leave sexual issues out on date night. It's about a bonding experience. It's supposed to bring you closer together, not, those are times that topics that you definitely need to discuss, but you need to set not on date night. You set a separate time to do that.
I agree.
Not on date night. So that's what I would add to that, is just what not to do for date night.
Right.
probably just as important as what to do for date night. So,
correct. Yeah. I agree. And I will say again, one of the other things that that I recommend is that you also Google things to do close to, you can put in like 100-mile radius, because I've done this research and it said it named the aquarium in Chattanooga, Tennessee as a place to go. So yeah, we've gone to the aquarium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was great, and found a great restaurant up there near it. And it would, if you're living in Atlanta, it would mention, and you can say places to go vacation within 3 hours drive or within a 4 hours drive, because you don't want your whole weekend driving 15 hours. She said, good advice, Sharen. Yeah. So the purpose is to relax and spend time with each other and to get into each other. Now, I'm gonna give a few tips for making date night magical. Okay. This can be for the girls and the guys. Okay. All right. This is the perfect time to
magic now, huh?
We get into the magic. This is the perfect time to get some new lingerie. Okay. Because the same, what you sleep in at home is not magical. Perfect time to get some lingerie. And guys, get you some new silk boxers or whatever it is you wear. Get a fancy pair, okay? It is also the perfect time to buy some new body care products, especially for the ladies. You want to smell good. Okay, so if you look at my bathroom, I've got dozens of different scents in there. You know, I am in the beauty industry, and I have access to all kinds. And when you get a new one and you like it, that's the perfect time to spring it on date night. Okay, so even if you're at home, you're taking your shower before you go, put on something that makes him say, you smell really good, or you smell delicious. You want to get a reaction. Even a new perfume is a great time to get a new perfume. And if you're the person who wears the same perfume over and over and over again, I'm gonna just say, please consider not doing that. I know with my husband, he sometimes, I don't even realize that he's wearing the same scent, maybe a couple of scents, and I'm used to him. And then all of a sudden, I'll get close to him and I'll say, you smell good. What do you have on? And he tell me what he has on. But my mind picked up on it right there. It's not the same old, same old. So you want to, I would recommend that you have a different scent and experiment with different ones. Don't have date night.
Powerful too. I mean, they really set the tone, and it gives you like a snapshot in your mind of that memory. That's really,
thank you,
facilitates the holding on of that memory. So that's a big difference.
It really, really, really does. And I will tell you something. And I hope some of you have heard of it. And if you haven't, I want you to consider it. It's called staging a room. And so if you watch HGTV, you know that they stage a home when they're getting ready to sell a home. They stage it. And that means that a professional will come in and set that home up in such a way that it's physically appealing to the people who come in. Well, there are people who also stage like hotel rooms. I know my girlfriend Corleen would do that. Someone would pay her to come in. So let's just say you get a room at a hotel and it's going to be date night, and not every date night ends in hotels. Please don't think that. I'm just saying that sometimes you want that one and you want to make it magical. It's a little hard. You can stage your house. Yeah. Okay, but if you got kids at home and you can't send them to somebody else's house, stage a hotel room. I'm just gonna say it ain't magical with kids there. Okay, so and they go in, they'll put rose petals on the bed, they'll light flameless candles, because hotels don't like candles, they are fire hazard. So she'll light flameless candles, she'll put on the soft music, she'll have the champagne on ice, the bed will be pulled down with the gift on the pillow. And when you open that hotel room door and your partner sees that, oh, it's going to be a really good night. And the memory of it is going to be there forever. And so I have been scrolling through Facebook from time to time, and I'll see somebody's timeline that say that they stage homes and they stage rooms. And so, yes, if you want to make it magical and you don't know how to do it, oh, don't stress about it. Pay somebody who knows what they're doing to get it done. And oftentimes, if they do that for a living, they have different themes that you can pick from that will include things you never thought about, including role playing. That's a whole different topic right there.
Yeah, I think we could do a whole 30 minutes on that alone. But
yes, we could.
Also remember that, sometimes, in the beginning of your relationship, you may not have the funds to do the high scale things like that. So a picnic basket in the park would go to the 99-cent store and get real wine glasses. You can make magic on a budget as well. So keep that in mind, and don't think that you have to wait until you've got a lot of money or you've got many years in this relationship. You can do that on a budget. I mean, in fact, sometimes Eric and I have had a contest as who can spend the most money and then who can spend the least money in setting this up.
I win on spending the most, but that's a good idea. And you're right. And as a matter of fact, you can go and Google, I think, relationship coupons, and you can make a coupon book as a gift. And it was so cute. It says this coupon is good for one back rub. Cherie, that's you. This coupon is good for one, movie and all kind of things. So don't think that just because, and I've seen in marriages where money is tight and the couple think that they cannot afford to celebrate. And that is so not the thing to do. I mean, and giving each other little gifts all along the way. Don't wait for a special occasion. It's so not that you can wrap a Kit Kat bar. I'm sorry. Or you can put a bow on. I remember one year I had a kid always talked about a sports car. Well, I talked about a sports car and he talked about another kind. And I went to his job. I bought those little 99-cent Tyco cars, okay? Or like a Corvette, and put it in a box with a bow on it, put a 99-cent helium balloon on it, and took it to his job, and it says happy anniversary. So he got a car for his anniversary. Okay. and so they called him up to the office to get it. And when he went back, all of his workmates wanted to know what you get. And the balloon said happy anniversary, and the box, and he said, I got a Corvette. It was the cutest. So you don't have to have a lot of money. What you have to have is, first of all, the decision to do it. And then once you make that decision, all kind of ideas and things will come your way. They'll show up on your Facebook feed. You'll hear another couple talk about what they did. You'll get in an Uber car, and the gentleman driving will give you some ideas. It'll come. What happens though, and this is the important part, when you make memories, they float you through the rough times.
Yeah.
Make enough memories. They outweigh the bad times. The good times have to outweigh the bad at some point. And you can consciously make good memories. You can't control the bad ones. Life is going to happen. It's going to knock you over the head. You can't control that. But what you can control, and this is the important part, is that you make enough good memories when you are in control, so that when the rough times come, they don't take you under. I firmly believe that.
Exactly. Wow. Well, Lisa, you got to talk about date night.
I didn't talk about get yourself a red lipstick, ladies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The red lipstick. Oh, now that is my thing. Red lipstick days. Yes. I have something on my YouTube about my red lipstick year. Anyway, the subject.
So ladies, tell me, I don't wear lipstick, and I don't wear lipstick. Okay, you need a lipstick that makes your lip pop for date night. I don't care if you don't wear it any other time of the year. Get a pretty red lipstick, and if you don't know how to match it, find somebody who can help you match it to your skin tone, and get yourself a red lipstick. And when you got it on, if your husband stepped through the door, your boyfriend stepped through the door, and you got that red lipstick on, He know what time it is.
Because even if, even a lot of men will say they don't like red lipstick, but I'm telling you, no matter if it's your husband or not, if you don't wear it every day, you put on a red lipstick, everybody is going to notice you. That is just a magnet. I mean, it's just something's different about you. It makes you different. It really, it like brings out who you are and so forth. And if you get the tone that is right for your tone, oh man, that
feel like a tigress. You feel like I am woman, hear me roar.
Exactly. Well, we went over a little bit today, but we started late. We were having some technical problems, so we had to start over. So we did go over a little bit today, but we want to, let you guys know that next week we've had some ladies that have, let us know about some topics that they want to hear about. Some of them are real heavy. It might be like 2 or 3 parts. But Rick and I are not afraid. We will forge on. But next week we're going to just talk about how to bring in the fall into your home and your life. So we were talking about that earlier, how it just really changes you. So we're going to talk about that next week. What does fall mean and how does it change us? So look forward to that. And we appreciate all of the replay viewers. We appreciate you, Cherie. And you know that. Yes. We appreciate you. And everybody that's going to see it later. And we're hoping to just continue building up our viewership. And thank everybody that viewed last week and that were replay viewers. We had lots and lots of replay viewers and lots of questions. It was just really amazing. So Lisa and I, with Coast-to-Coast, a beauty.
Okay, I guess we're going to say until next week. This is Lisa Washington, your East Coast beauty.
Sharen Davis, the West Coast beauty. And we will be signing off. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same station.
Bye.
Bye, Lisa. Bye, Cherie.
Bye, Cherie.
Kisses.